On behalf of my family, I decided to create an award in honor of my nephew, Enzo. It's presented in his memory as he was a student here at Calvin's Command for a brief time in kindergarten. Tragically, at 5 years old, his family lost their house to a fire shortly after celebrating his birthday. Enzo suffered severe injuries as a result of this incident, and almost 2 weeks later succumbed to his injuries in November 2021. Standing here without him is incredibly hard and difficult, but without his friends, I wouldn't have made the choice to do this. If and became born and repeated in my life. The award was designed to honor the students who embodied the qualities that he displayed each time he was here with us. He lived playful yet reserved. He had an immense love for dogs. He even adopted a dog named Buddy, who seemed to choose him as much as he chose him. One day, Buddy wandered off on an adventure, leaving Enzo heartbroken and prompting him to ask his dad to drive around to find him. Fortunately for Buddy, he was not lost. He just found his way back home to his original owner. He found Enzo by pure accident, but the owner saw the connection Buddy and Enzo had. We don't even know if Buddy was his actual real name. That was just what he decided to name. The owner saw how attached they were and decided Enzo was his suitor. So the owner let Buddy go with the play. As most of you may know, Enzo took pride in dancing, and even in his short time in the American kindergarten class, he showed great enthusiasm for speaking, often correcting his parents at home. He began learning simple phrases prior to coming to Calvin's Command with me, and during COVID, we'd sit outside on our balcony, and even though he seemed stressed out about it, he was still able to follow the instructions, so he came prepared with this song. He cherished his family and his friends, and he's absent. Absence is felt profoundly by all of us. Though his time on earth was brief, his presence left a lasting impact on many people in Calvin Valley. Students in the immersion program are selected based on their growth and dedication to culture and language, both inside and outside of the classroom. I carefully observed all of the students this year and how they managed themselves in the morning at protocol, throughout the school, and their dedication to showing who they are as Towson or Paul Christine, because as we know, not all of our children are Towson, but we all are connected and we have roots here. So the students selected were based on the criteria that matched Enzo's life spirit of his passion for dance, sing well, language, family, and leadership. The student you've all heard was very, very quiet, and actually it was always my goal for the student to use their voice. I am not going to lie when I say it brought tears to my eyes and shivers down my spine when I heard Isabel willingly take the lead of the song for Basil Time. So Isabel. The next student was a dear friend of Enzo's and often thinks about them and dances in their honor and pride. In his honor and pride every single time. When whenever the Enzo Warrior song comes out and this person, this student is very quick to help our younger students follow suit right away. And although everybody in his class was his friend, this year Brody Wilson has stepped up in every way, helping these peers dance and showing the little kids how to dance to all the songs. Brody is also one of those family members. The students in my class I chose based on their willingness to learn our language and use it as often as they can, as well as their pride that they take in dance. If you come into my classroom at any time of day, you can hear singing all day long, and I have to repeat myself, as beautiful as your singing voice is, it can be distracting to some, so can you please sit inside our class and do our work on the table. There be feet tapping, pencils tapping. It's a really jam session all the time in classes, but this year's recipient for grade 3 is KCFS. The student worked very hard. They would often correct me if I used an English word instead of a Filipino word. They were able to see the patterns in how a language corrected itself and put everything in place, was able to spot the errors on the spot of a dime. They take pride in who they are as a full Filipino and dance with such pride. I wish the students all the best in their new school because they're leaving us this year. So this year, Dwayne, Tommy, Dwayne Ironhawk, Tommy. And in replacement to tonight's class, I don't get enough time with all of these students as much as I would like to. They're at the other end of the school, and if you're in here, you know that's a long way to go. This one is also special. This child sings loud with their heart and dances with the passion that I see in them. I saw in them. I say this is special because her brother is standing up here. Miss Ivy. I have 3 more, and I chose these 3. I chose these 3 because no matter how busy they are, they always make time for fun. They always make time to use the language that they know. And they're very, very respectful and take pride in their identity as a full student. It is hard. And as biased as it may seem, it is going to be good. And it's because of them and years and people doing my job. So the next 3 awards go to Eliana Frenchie Thorne, Sally Frenchie Thorne, and my little best friend, Eli Frenchie. Eli and I had a deal. He lost his money to come to school, just like I did. But he knew that I would stay here as long as he was here. And he holds me to that deal just as much as I do him. Usually I have some kind of gift, some kind of something to give to them. I think the year before last, I gave them all money. Parents, all of these children are part of the dance group. And I thought, what better way to honor them than let them choose what kind of regalia they would like. I am a jack of all trades and a master of none.